I will also say every time you guys have said the Pandora movie, it has made me think of those charms that they try and get us to buy for our significant others. It's like a movie about James
Yeah.
Cameron going to the mall, not knowing what to buy his current wife, and then buying out an entire Pandora store and having it delivered, but he's not there because he's on set filming Avatar, and then her just like calling the divorce lawyer. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
He should have learned that every kiss begins with K. So. Speaking of Transformers, the new Transformers Beast Machines is on the way.
I don't think it's called Beast Machines. I gotta be honest.
No, it's Rise of the Beasts. I think, right, World?
Beast Replace Us?
Yeah, it's Transformers Rise of the Beasts, I think.
Yeah.
Now,
my question is, it has the same Optimus Prime from like the entire lineage, right? This is just a different.
It's still the same actor because it's still Peter Cullen.
But
so it's still
Optimus from Bumblebee, right?
It is of the timeline of Bumblebee. It is the same. I was gonna say universe, but that's kind of not specific. It's of the same narrative and
same
timeline
universe.
of Bumblebee.
Wait,
because they restarted. They restarted with Bumblebee with Travis Knight and improved the series dramatically in terms of many things. One of them being just the designs of the robots were less like, here's a jumble of fucking parts. There you go. There's a robot on the screen. You don't know if it's a good guy or bad guy.
You don't like all those shifting blades?
No, it's atrocious and I hate it. I want my Optimus Prime to look like this.
Yeah, the worst part to me about the original Transformers movie was what Prime transformed into. It was upsetting.
How dare you? He had the flame still, right?
Yeah, look at
Prime was known.
There's no flames. No.
Yes, I know. I'm just fucking.
No, you're right. You're right. Just all flames all the time. He's the Johnny Storm of Transformers.
Flashy Optimus.
Johnny Storm also does whatever drugs in front of him. Continue, please.
I just love that. What's his? What was the tape deck's name again?
Soundwave, or do you mean Blaster,
Soundwave.
or do you mean Sound?
Soundwave was the one that had the Jaguar that came out of his chest.
No. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Then because you see him, he looks like Soundwave in the
Rumble, Rumble and Rampage were the
Rumble and Frenzy.
Yes.
Frenzy. Ravage is the Panther.
And Laserbeak's the winner, the one Megatron loved.
Laserbeak.
Megatron loved Laserbeak.
Yeah, Laserbeak.
Oh yeah, that was his.
Laserbeak was the
in the
I was saying in the
Megatron's pirate days
animated one. Yeah. Well, but there's also Buzzsaw and was a yellow, but the Laserbeak was the blue, was the black and red one that got the most screen time.
I
also love what they did with, despite calling it, because I don't think he's actually called Starscream, but he is. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he was the Starscream in Bumblebee. I love that iteration of him. They think they called him like Blitzwing or something like that in the movie. I don't know why.
Yeah, because they essentially didn't want to say, because spoilers for Bumblebee for those who give you heads up, he does end up dying in that movie, so they didn't want that to be Starscream because that
he dies very early.
Yeah, that version dies. So like, oh, that's actually, I want to say like it's not Skywarp or Thundercracker, but it's a known name, but it's one that they're like, oh, we're okay with him dying.
They called him Blitzwing in the movie.
Was it Blitzwing in that?
That's what he's credited as.
That's hilarious because that's not even like one of the Seekers, but whatever. And it's still an enjoyable movie if you have the opportunity to watch it on Paramount Plus for free, with your subscription. Go right ahead, enjoy it. It is the better of most of the Transformer movies in live action. So, yeah. One thing that pissed me off at the time though is because I have a photo of this on my MySpace somewhere. If I can find it, I'll get it to Kareem.
Justin Timberlake already cried. He threw it away. You don't have MySpace anymore.
There's a
Crimea River.
They had a photo or they had a big Mack, like the classic Mack truck in like the Peterbilt, I think, on the convention hall, covered with a tarp, and it said coming soon. And so like as a fan, you're like, they got the right Optimus Prime, and then like the movie comes out 3 years later, and you lied. You lied. You came to my house and lied.
You know how those conversations went too, man.
Oh yeah,
man. That truck is badass. No, it's badass fire, badass, and just like Michael Bay mumbling to himself,
just like actually. But here's the thing, though. Michael Bay doesn't like the Transformers. He never did, and he said in multiple interviews how he's like, I had to be talked into it. Like Steven Spielberg really like twisted my arm to get me to do it's like, then don't do it. Like if you are that much against it, that it takes one of the world's best directors, most well-regarded director, like let's put it that way, to make you do the movie, then maybe it's not for you. I don't want people to be like, oh, there's better directors, like they can kiss my butt. But also, I'm just saying, like
Spielberg, if it means that much to you, you fucking direct it.
Yeah.
If it means that much to Spielberg, you direct stuff. That's fair.
He went to Michael Bay and said, hey, Michael Bay, do you have your pyrotechnics team with you? Yes. Go make this movie. I don't really want to. Go do it, because James Cameron's busy under the water.
Yeah, basically. And he still is. This damn Pandora crap.
It just premiered on
they still
HBO.
make money. I don't understand it.
Things don't have to be good to make money. Like we know that for a fact.
That kind of money.
I'm kind of waiting for the point where it turns out it's like bestsellers, where the studio's just buying all the tickets. Like, yeah, we did it. We're so rich.
Yeah. Though there's a comedian who's talking about like Jeff Bezos' wife was on some listing of like the richest people in the world, and she's like listed as whatever her name is. I'm sorry, I don't know it.
His ex-wife?
Yeah, his ex-wife, and she's listed as author. It's like, if your husband owns the biggest bookstore in the world, I don't know if you qualify as a best-selling author, or just your husband's like giving away free samples with Tide. Like, I don't know how this, like, I think you can fudge the numbers if you have that kind of power to be like best-selling author. Like,
they fudge the numbers on a smaller scale. Like half of the bestsellers from talking head pundits are just whatever organization is backing it, just bottom.
They buy, exactly. They buy their own and then sell them back to, like,
technically speaking, they were sold bestseller.
Yeah. So that's where I'm just like, really, like, you're just okay. It feels like some real stolen valor kind of stuff. Like, yeah, best-selling author. I'm an author. Like,
it still doesn't justify how these freaking James Cameron Avatar movies are doing so well.
They're beautiful. Like that's
I think that's it. They're very pretty.
Watch them on the big screen. They're beautiful. That's about. I mean, and people, and yet there's a new generation.
Are we that starved for aesthetic in a movie like that?
Have you seen some of the CGI we're getting in some movies lately?
Yeah. And yet the thing too, like there are generations who never saw Fern Gully or Dances with Wolves. So it's like there are just more there's constantly new people out there who be like, I'll watch this, and it's completely new to them. And I will say this, that there are worse things to give your money to than Avatar.
I am excited for the Fire.
Such as I'd like to know what's on your list.
There are worse things? Whatever Ben Shapiro's movie is making.
Okay, well that doesn't count because no one watches.
Yes, it does. That is a worse thing to give you money.
Go ask Gina Carano. 80 people watched that movie. That was it. Nobody watches those. Nobody watches that.
That's fine, and that's why I'm saying that there are worse things to give your money to. I'm not saying
those aren't even available for most people to go see. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, fine.
Give me something that's
Purge 6, whatever the Purge 6 is called, the
Purginator.
The Purginator.
How dare you?
There are
as evident by my own anecdotal experience, I'd watch The Purge over those Pandora movies.
I mean, but here's the thing though, and that's a fair take too. But at least with the Pandora movies, there's only 2. You only get just 2 movies and you're done.
Because it takes them 10 years to make them.
There's also 7 Purge movies.
Yeah, but the runtime of those 2 Pandora movies is longer than all of the Purge movies combined.
Yes,
also, every time
exactly.
And there's a Purge TV show too, right? So like, there's just like, stop it. Like, we're good. Like, we don't need to feed.
Are you though? Because you're allowing more. Because again, just because there's 2 now doesn't mean that he doesn't have 2 more that are going to be coming over the next 10 years. He's already said he does 2 more. Exactly.
He said he's.
So you're saying
because we had the first one, which was Earth, The next one was water, and the next one's the Fire Nation.
Yeah, the
right?
Fire Nation shows up.
Yeah.
So I mean, your whole argument about quantity kind of goes out the window.
But it doesn't when you also have I think you literally have at least 6 movies plus there's a TV show.
And there will be 7 more movies by the time this third Avatar comes.
I was going to say by the time we finish this podcast, but oh, there's another one.
Like I said, it takes 10 years.
But if that's all you're putting your time into, that's that is a better use of his time than and think of all the people who are employed by him and getting paychecks from all this. I am fine with
getting
him
employed by the
movies.
Purge companies than there are the people in the Avatar one.
No, because they get purged at the end.
Yeah,
they get purged at the end.
Yeah, that's how they make those movies. It's like the Pharaohs.
I just said that people were getting employed.
I mean, for how long and for how much? I mean, right now, for one movie,
you're asking for extemporaneous details. I said more people are getting paid.
Are they though? Because think of how big the production is on an Avatar movie, and they're being
the
paid.
CGI team is getting paid.
They're also being done for 10 years because it's 10 years of production. So that's a career, sir. That's not a flash in the pan.
Yeah, a handful of CGI artists are getting paid well for 10 years.
Well, they're not getting paid that well. That's not that well.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
The point is for the Marvel Studios.
I'm just saying that there are worse things to give your money to, and I think my Ben Shapiro argument should have sealed the deal, but I'm
gonna side with Ken. The Ben Shapiro argument does hold water, and the Purge argument, I guess. Though I will also say, every time you guys have said the Pandora movie, it has made me think of those charms that they try and get us to buy for our significant others. It's like a movie about James Cameron going to the mall, not knowing what to buy his current wife, and then buying out an entire Pandora store and having it delivered, but he's not there because he's on set filming Avatar, and then her just like calling the divorce lawyer. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
He should have learned that every kiss begins with K. So
yeah,
not P.
Your personal jeweler.
Yeah,
Ben Bridge.
Have you seen the second movie yet, Ken?
Which second movie?
Avatar.
I never saw the first.
You son of a bitch!
Didn't see the first one?
Things you give your money towards.
What was I giving my money towards?
In 2008, there wasn't anything.
No,
exactly.
Is that when it came out? I'm sorry. The Incredible Hulk came out in 2008. In 2008, I was watching Incredible Hulk. That's what I was watching.
It might be 2009, which means there were no comic movies.
There isn't just a single circle for that diagram. You could watch the Hulk and you can watch Avatar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then over the next 10 years, watch Avatar.
Avatar was 2009. So that, and by the way, when this movie came out, I was busy boycotting it because they took the name from The Last Airbender. And I'm like, and especially for a movie that doesn't even need that title Avatar after the first one, like it could have just been called Pandora and it would have been a better title for that movie. But
for the second one.
They all could have been called Pandora because they're all based on Pandora. They're not all based about Avatar.
For the first movie, he wasn't.
It makes sense for the first movie, but if he's like, this is going to be my opus, this is going to be all my movies. It's fantastic. It's all I'll ever do from here on out. Yeah. Then just call it Pandora and let Avatar: The Last Airbender have their title because it's awesome.
Well, you're right, Ken. There were a lot of better movies to come out that year, like 2012, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, Orphan.
No, we're talking about 2009 movies.
2000, no, but yes, exactly. 2012 came out in 2009.
Wow, that's just an early release. Okay, Transformers.
X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
There's also a little movie by the name of Fast and Furious.
Well, that's just the Bible.
What about Push with Chris Evans?
I enjoyed Push. Not going to argue against Push.
You mean the first X-Men movie, or
it's like
the new X-Men movie?
The Squeakquel.
How many superheroes has he played?
The Squeakquel was that year.
Oh, jeez.
Squeakquel.
Oh, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, my God, that was the worst year for movies.
Year one.
I'm sorry. Are you speaking down about Fast and Furious and Push?
Hold on, Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
Oh God! Oh no, Star Trek.
Pat keeps naming stuff.
No, Abrams Star Trek. That's decent.
That's good. Watchmen.
There you go. That had a movie.
That had a movie.
The least rapey of the Snyder movies.
Is it though?
It's still rapey. It's just the least rapey.
Many subtle levels.
He's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about 2009.
I also think I went back and I read all the Push comics too. I enjoyed them. Like
Really good.
They were their actual comics.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. I think the movie did a better job of engaging the characters, but I do remember enjoying the
I
comics
enjoyed the
too.
movie. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It was a cool mutant movie.
Yeah.
All right. Just looking at 2009, the quote unquote top 50 movies by IMDb standards. I don't understand their standards because number one is The Blind Side.
It's ranking. It's like what's got the most.
Actually did well, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, it also does it by people's ratings, doesn't it?
It has a lower score than number 3 and 4.
Then I have no idea.
Yeah, but is that hold on? Just because I think when I was setting up prepping for the Armageddon discussion, the scores are based on the viewers' like impression of the movie, not like how well it did at the box office.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go through this list because now it's intriguing. At least top 10. I'll give you the Metacritic score. Number 1 on the IMDb list.
Please share it to the Discord.
Metacritic score 53.
For which one?
The Blind Side. It's about a white woman going to a black neighborhood and stealing a child.
Hey, and not just any white woman. It was Sandra Bullock, son of a bitch.
It's true.
Sandy B. How dare you? Sandy B.
And she won an Oscar for it.
You damn right she did. Number 2, The Hurt Locker. Metacritic score 95. That really came out in two. I think that really came out in 2008 though.
That is. Yes, that's
That's the one with Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner and Anthony Mackie. Oh, Hawkeye
that's
and
because
Falcon.
America.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let's make sure I have this correct. It's Hawkeye, Falcon, and Guy Pearce. Who's Guy Pearce? Guy Pearce. I feel like he was in a movie.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's the first Mandarin, whatever.
Yeah.
And then wait, and then Brian
Mandarin.
Brian Jardy. I don't know who this is.
I don't know who that is. You gotta show me a picture.
He
might be in Marvel at this point now because everyone.
I mean, not everybody. I need my paycheck. Kevin Feige. We need our paychecks. You need some podcasters in the next movie.
He's too busy rescheduling everything, putting everything in 7 to 12-month delays.
All right, so Hurt Locker with.
Well, so the list is weird because it's got some late 2008 movies on it as well, like Taken. Star Trek pops up.
Is this stuff that shows up in like because of like the way that they do the Oscars? So it's like as of that season of films.
If it comes out in like
Star Trek
November,
came out in
December.
2009. Oh, maybe that's what it is. It's the Oscar season.
Yeah, that's my only suggestion is that maybe that's why we get stuff like Taken in there, like kind of the tail end of something. Avatar.
Taken did
Hangover
as well. The Hangover did blockbuster,
yeah.
Up
was good. I don't know if it did very well for Disney.
It did. I think it did.
It did really well.
Yeah, that's kind of prime Pixar. Inglourious Bastards.
That was one of those like an indie darling, I think.
Yeah.
Somehow, Law Abiding Citizen is number 8 on the. Is this just a list of movies that existed?
Yeah, because I don't think that one did well.
No one cared.
How is this?
That
no.
Under the radar.
Okay, so quick question: if it does say top movies, but it doesn't say there's a thing that says list. It says list order. Is this created by? No, this is okay. This is a list by Sauce. Do 64.
64.
This isn't.
He knows what he's
this isn't.
about.
This isn't IMDb's list. It's on IMDb.
I'm going to
IMDb. Are you questioning Sauce Do 64?
Yeah, I don't understand what your deal is, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah, it's messed up.
You two have had some long-standing beef. You need to get over it.
I don't know why you and Sauce are so problematic towards.
Okay, so you can hit. There's a little thing that says sort because I pulled up the same list.
Well, we're getting away from Sauce's list entirely. We're just gonna go.
Okay, this is messed up too, though, because now I did by popularity, and for some reason,
as well.
it Avatar's number 1. Number 2 is Funny People.
Yeah,
what?
What is wrong with this list?
When was number? Who cares about Funny People?
Wait, 500 Days of Summer is 2009. I was watching that.
And Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
Zombieland. I was watching Zombieland and G.I. Joe: The Rise of
the
Cobra.
Lovely Bones.
I will tell you so far, looking at this list, I've watched at least all of these movies except for Funny People so far.
So Human Centipede. Don't watch Funny People. It's not good.
X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's
Up in the
2009
Air,
one.
X-Men Oranges, Wolverine, Sherlock Holmes, Public Enemies.
Yep.
The Human
I
Centipede
Love You,
first
Man.
sequence.
I watched Drag Me to Hell. I watched Whip It. I didn't think that was that popular.
Precious, based on the book Precious by Precious
Sapphire or something.
Antichrist.
He's just not that into you. I thought He's Just Not Into You was pretty popular. Maybe I was
G.I.
wrong.
Joe: The Rise.
It had to be more popular than X-Men Origins. Come on.
Dragon Ball Evolution. Once again, let's bring it up one more time.
Fanboys.
Jesus.
Fanboys came out. That was a movie. I enjoyed it.
But it was definitely a movie.
State of Play, that wasn't popular. I know that wasn't.
The
Just
Goods.
making up shit now.
The Informant. Extract.
Terminator Salvation.
Extract is one I've
It's
always wanted to
complicated.
watch. Salvation? Wait, which one's Salvation? Is that
Knowing?
is that where the Terminators are?
Oh, hold on a second.
Salvation
Guys,
is
this is also by Sauce Stew 64.
good for you. Good for you.
Oh,
Okay, that
good for you. And how was it?
Yeah, this is
Sauce Stew
weird.
64 is I think I'm on Kin's side now.
No, I sent you
flipped the board.
another list. I sent you another list.
All right. Sorry, Sauce
It's
Stew.
just as bad.
You've had your 15 minutes of fame.
Not all right. This is my favorite thing to do now. I don't think it's good podcast. My favorite thing to do is to pick a random year and see what horse shit came out.
Yeah.
And reminisce on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2006.
Oh, this is okay. This is fast. The Fast Furious. This is the fourth one.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the start of the
The Return of the King. The
Yeah,
Return
like I said,
of
I
the
don't think
Mac.
that it did well. Year over year. I mean, movie over movie, but I think 5 was when it really starts to like skyrocket.
that one like
Centipede.
4 did well.
Yeah, but it's all relative. I mean, the 3 was the lowest ranking one.
Well, yeah.
As far as box office is concerned. So
I mean,
it can only go up basically from there.
They got the eldest Taylor child from Home Improvement, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a new budget, so they could afford him.
Yeah.
Raking in that cash, doing all those like
They couldn't afford
non-appearances.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas at that time.
Nobody could. And then he just went off into oblivion.
He went off to Oblivion 5 years, like 8 years before that.
Yeah, but he's also still maintained an orbit around that because he's like a director. He's still getting paid. Like it's I'm not judging quality, but it's just a matter of those things. It's like you're
good for
getting
him.
into a
Another
space at a
quality.
certain. You're just like I'm just keep making money.
He Fred Savaged it.
With less screen
Sort
time.
of.
But
Yeah,
also-
because Fred Savage got in front of the camera as well. Like he
but
did
he's
both.
also but he's also
And-
orbiting Tim Allen a bit, and that definitely gives me a
Ooh,
cringe
that's not
factor.
good. Okay.
No,
That's
'cause-
exciting.
Yeah,
You're just jealous because you're not as American as he is.
So I picked 2006 randomly, and clearly it was in my head because number 3 movie on the list is the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
there we go.
Is that why you picked 2006? I feel like that wasn't random at all.
It was. I think it was in the back of my head. But number 2, The Departed.
The Departed.
Yeah, The Departed.
The Departed.
What movie did they rip off again, Pat?
Infernal
Departure.
Affairs, right?
There we go.
Oh, wasn't Departure?
No.
Okay.
Yes, Ken. It was Departure. I think it's Infernal Affairs.
Did you ever watch The Departed? I'm guessing you didn't, Ken.
The Departed.
No, I didn't watch The Departed.
Okay. It's good.
Well, you don't like Boston gangster movies?
I mean, it's of a flavor that I haven't tried yet. It's as the meme says, is that does that taste like a city? Or what? Damn it! That's how it tastes like a neighborhood you've never been to. It's like
The
Yes,
Departed is the reason for like 2 years every gangster movie went from New York to Boston.
well,
Remember
wasn't
there
that
was,
also
like,
Ben
pretty much.
Affleck and like. Oh wait, no, Boondock Saints was someplace else. That makes sense. But I thought Ben Affleck was like, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go back there for Heart Hit Girl. What? Gone Girl.
Gone Girl, but that was, I believe, was that before or after? I think that was after.
I remember.
I think The Departed.
Gone Girl was after The Departed? Yeah. Gone Girl was after
Yeah.
The Departed.
Yeah, The Departed. There were like 14 different. There
But
was
I think he's talking about in that time it was like Gone Girl, then The Town was like
Yeah.
what was it?
within,
The
like, 2
Fighting
years of each other.
Connollys or the Loving McConnelly's. There was that NBC show.
Black
There was that
Donnelly's
one.
or
Something like that. Then there was the one set. It was a Showtime show, Brotherhood, and that was set in like New England area. Everybody had the same accent.
yeah.
Jason Isaacs is prominently involved. By the end, everyone hated the Boston accent and Boston.
At least until they had
It's not a cool accent.
At least until they had that
No.
car commercial with Chris Evans and a
No,
couple other people.
no, that made me like Chris Evans less.
Oh, really? You can't
Yeah,
park
fuck
there.
Boston. Fuck
Fair.
Boston.
I mean, if the comment is F Casey Affleck, then I'm there with you because I hear he's a horrible person. But
Oh yeah,
Sure,
I think
I
that
mean-
goes without saying.
Yeah, he's a bad person, but this is specific. This is Boston in general for me. I don't like it. Not a fan. You don't need to listen, Boston.
I think this goes to Pat's sports background.
That a big
I
fan
still,
of
I just don't like Boston.
Doesn't like the play. Doesn't like the people. Doesn't like the place. Doesn't like the smell.
It's sports. It's
Fuck
always
yourself,
sports.
Boston.
It's always sports. I'm sure there's many lovely, lovely people there.
That silence was a no, people.
Yeah, so yeah, that was,
There was a lot of head shaking there.
for our listeners at home who aren't watching the YouTube version.
Yeah.
There's a lot of head
Shame
shaking.
on you.
Yeah.
No, just shame on you. Period.
All
I'm
of
not
New
working to
England.
these people.
Oh, this has been our greatest episode of all time.
He's like, I've been waiting for this many years to get to be able to bash Boston safely. Now
I
can do it.
mean, it's a shtick with me at this point, so that's fair.
That's fair.
2023. That's Pat's year.
Oh God, Silent
Like
Hill
Linux.
came out in 2006. If you
Which
bring
one?
up Linux one more goddamn time,
It's the year of Linux, Pat.
sure. Uh-huh.
It will
Yes,
be if
it's
I
a-
keep saying it every year.
Is that like the Summer of George? Is that
Yes.
Summer of George?
Exactly.
But it's every year. It's the same discussion. Yes. The original Silent Hill came out in 2006 movie. The original
Movie.
Silent Hill film.
I
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
like Silent Hill.
It was fine.
It was a
I
movie.
think I enjoyed
You
it.
like it?
No, I enjoyed it, but it's not like great. It's like, okay, it was good.
It's not a rewatchable. It's not like, oh no, I need to go back and watch it again right now because it like I don't have it on a DVD or Blu-ray.
Yet.
No.
I mean, unless you're planning to get me a gift, which I don't recommend.
Ha Cheaper than a Toretto tea.
Is it though? I mean, Toronto
Probably
Tea
not.
is
Yeah,
your-
at this point, it might be.
I mean, you got to pull out that bag and you already have like pre. Good God.
I am-
shipping-
Each copy comes with the Toretto tea.
There you go.
I'm not gonna lie, there is every possibility I'm gonna order like 15 of them and just have them handy to pass out.
That
Like a business card.
Well,
Yeah.
for our first podcast, we do like at a convention. Like that's what we hand out to the audience.
Well,
That's
that's
our
a
giveaway.
fantastic idea. Yes. I mean,
Welcome to the
Everyone else
family.
is going to come in and be like,
Welcome-
we're going to have to ask you guys to cease and desist this shit.
I'm gonna have to ask you to have a Corona for family.
Oh my goodness, it's phenomenal.
You haven't seen the new movie yet, have you, kid?
Fast
New
X
Fast? Yeah.
10? No, I haven't.
Yeah. And you haven't either, Pat, right?
No, I'm gonna try to see it this weekend.
Wait,
I
are
can
you
swing it.
seeing Fast X before you see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Chronologically, they came out at different times, Ken.
I don't care. Across the Spider-Verse.
I'm an
Watch
old
it now.
man. I'm an old man. It's whatever came out most.
Oh,
Whatever
also,
I see,
Also,
it's gonna leave. Good.
I was going to say, I don't think Pat has the affinity for Spider-Man that you do.
It doesn't have no. Okay, he doesn't. But also, he hasn't seen the new Guardians movie with Adam Warlock, so I don't know what to think about Pat's choices he's making nowadays. Okay,
I mean, well, the
They
movie
have-
isn't called Adam Warlock. It's called Guardians, and Adam Warlock just happens to be in it.
not here in
We all know
America,
for how-
but have you? In Bolivia though, it's called Adam Warlock and the Guardians of the Galaxies.
In Mother Russia,
Oh, it's a
movie
10-minute
Warlock's
movie. They just collected all these scenes. and
Adam
put
Warlock's
them
is really
put them
big in
together.
Bolivia. That's the weird thing.
That's fair.
Is he really?
No,
They love a tan. I am finally feeling better and can go to a movie. So that is, and I feel like for the podcast, it's more important I see Fast 10.
that's fair. That is We do because we have to get through 7, 8.
I'm just throwing it out there, guys. You may not even have to go to the theater. I was looking at because I have a Chromecast or whatever. I think you can rent it for like $5
Really?
now.
Already?
Already?
$5.
It came out 3 weeks ago.
That is mean. This isn't Morbius.
Let me check.
It's not Morbin time at home.
I don't think it. I think it did well, but not as much as well as they thought it was going to be.
I mean, isn't that the story of Hobbs, and that he's just like, oh, it didn't work out for me in Black Adam. Welcome back to the family.
Basically, I told you guys he'd be back.
Touches
Good
turns
God.
crap.
And Pat was like, "Oh, it's guaranteed he won't be back."
I mean, he was adamant about not returning, which, I mean,
well, they both were.
Yeah,
they realized they both need each other.
Exactly, and then Vin even used he's like, Pablo said you should have been here, man. Like that is too much, and you need to stop, Vin. That is a step too far. My boy Pablo, like, no, stop that now. Messed up.
Let's see. Am I right, or did I just make that? I swore it was because it has like the little banner on it that says watch it now or whatever.
I mean, probably.
Do you think as part of the healing process, Vin Diesel invites The Rock to play D&D with him?
He hasn't, but he's not one of the.
Yeah.
It's known that he's a celebrity, but he's not like I was about to say John DiMaggio, but that's a different person.
Joe
Manganiello.
Deathstroke.
Joe Manganiello. He does he puts it he live streams it and does a whole thing, but I haven't seen Toretto do any of those yet. And everyone's getting RPG podcasts, so I would figure if he was truly in it still, he'd be on one of those shows at some point.
It's true. He's a guy that's going to monetize anything he's got going. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So there's any number of opportunities for him to have shown up on any number of other sanctioned Dungeons and Dragons podcasts. And if they wanted him, they just have to throw the right amount of money at him. And also, he's not exactly other than the fast stuff, what's he doing right now? Are we getting XXX 14? I don't know.
I don't think he needs to do anything else at this point.
Think he doesn't. No, he doesn't need to, but he's still doing Fast 11. So clearly they're still I need something to keep me busy. So why isn't he out there doing RPG podcasts?
I really think he's I've got to tell this story. I have to complete the story. I really think he's man.
He's Sylvester Stallone in it, where he's just no, you got to know that Rocky was just kind of he was who I was inside,
Basically.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and he's turning into
I don't even know if he responds to Vin Diesel anymore. If it's just you have to call him Dom.
And I mean, don't forget that they also shared screen time technically in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
That's right.
Technically, yes, you could rent Fast X right now if you have a Windows PC for $20 on the movies and TV app thing.
That makes sense.
Well, Michelle's night just got a lot worse.
Sorry, Michelle.
She's gonna have to
I'm about to go on a movie binge because I can rent John Wick 4, Super Mario Brothers movie, which I haven't seen. Haven't seen John Wick 4 either.
Is Guardians on there? Guardians not on there yet, is it?
Which is ironic because didn't Guardians come out before Fast X?
Yeah, but Disney doesn't screw with that. Disney's not.
They're we got the vault, motherfuckers. We're not letting shit out.
No. I did see John Wick 4.
In fact, Willow's gone now too because you didn't like it enough.
Yeah. Maybe next time you'll try a little harder.
Yeah. Not us.
I can rent that random ass Adam Driver 65 movie.
Sure. You mean the movie that's going to be the new Jurassic Park for a new generation?
The space generation, I guess. Yeah.
I literally didn't realize it already came out.
The Pope's Exorcist as well. I can watch a little angry Russell Crowe.
All right. I do have a story about the Pope's Exorcist.
What do you got?
I went to I'm going to call it the White Trash Super Bowl. I went to WrestleMania on a whim because it was at SoFi Stadium. It was great. It was fantastic. But one of the wrestlers is known as the Demon. And they literally, and it was right before the movie came out, and they literally had Russell Crowe on a video do an intro for this wrestler as a tie-in to the Pope's Exorcist. And I gotta think, in his head, what does he think? I have won an Oscar, and I am now in a movie about the exorcist for the Pope, and I have to do this intro for a pro wrestler, what has happened? What mistakes have I made?
I think it involves a lot of alcohol, Russell Crowe.
Making movies, making songs, fighting around the world.
I mean,
yeah.
He fights his directors and he fights his fans. It's a problem no one understands. If there's two things he loves, it's fighting and fighting round the world. Making movies, making music, and fighting round the world. Russell Crowe.
Also, he's also getting just like Marvel money for being Zeus. He's just like, whatever, cool.
He just started getting that though.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's been a long gap between Gladiator and starring in a Marvel movie.
What was the gap between Rush Hours? Like, you could, like, let's be honest here. You can survive on, like, people don't have to, once they do a couple of these movies, they don't have to work like they used to. And if they choose to, at some point, you're like, wait, you're making another one of those? Or what? Like, Michelle Rodriguez out here being like,
bets.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. It's like, you can live, like, look, I always think of Chris Tucker and like, he's like, money talks. Then he did a Rush Hour 1 and 2. And then it's like silence. And he's just kicking back, collecting paychecks, living the sweet life with Zach and Cody.
I think you underestimate how expensive being a celebrity happens to be for people.
Right, but that's just it. He chose to be like, I don't need to be a celebrity right now. I can just chill at home with my kids.
But again, I don't know if it's necessarily he chose, or if like projects that lined up after those movies just didn't do well, so then Hollywood chose for him. Like, you take a break, you have a seat. We'll come back to you later.
Maybe
and I think that's what happened with Russell Crowe. Like, he did that Noah movie and nobody gave a shit.
It's Noah. Why would they care? It's
what are you talking about? Crowe. That was the Bible is the biggest IP of all time.
There we go.
That's what I learned this week.
Exactly. So they were thinking we get the biggest IP and Russell Crowe and money, and people were like, "Yeah, no, thank you. Go have a seat, Russell Crowe. Go sit down."
I mean, it's no Passion of the Christ, so I don't know what to tell you. Like,
yeah, they were trying.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just like,
I believe Russell Crowe actually financed part of that Noah movie himself as well.
I mean, if you want to throw your money away, that's sure fine. But also, wait. Here's a question though: if you're financing the movie and you're also getting a paycheck from it, doesn't that seem like that's money laundering, right? Like, isn't that some kind of like
you're money laundering?
Well, I mean, again, it depends on how the money comes in. But technically speaking, you're just taking money out of your own pocket.
No, what you're saying is he's a cop.
It becomes money laundering if it's profitable on the other end. But you're just pouring your own money into it, hoping that you get
isn't that the whole
it.
plot of the movie, The Producers? Like you
yes.
Financially, you can make more money by making a bomb. So, like, maybe Russell Crowe knows a little something that we don't know, and he's just like, yeah, I'll finance
whatever it is. Gerard Butler must have found the secret as well, because he's just doing bomb after bomb.
Yeah, I mean,
if we don't count Man of Steel, I think Russell Crowe's last like big movie was Les Miserables.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
Nice Guy. He was in The Nice Guys, which is a great film, highly recommended.
It was funny.
The Marky Mark film?
No,
that's the other guys.
Oh, that's the other guys.
The Nice Guys is
Nice Guys is him and
Russell Crowe.
Him and Hey Girl.
Yeah,
you got it. Then he did and I'm just kind of going through the movie. He did The Mummy, which is the Tom Cruise mummy.
That failed.
Oh, that's
Boy
right.
Erased. True History of the Kelly Gang. Unhinged. Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, wow.
Yeah.
All right, we got to do the thing. Russell Crowe net worth. I gotta see. Does he just have enough? Like, he just doesn't care anymore. $100 million.
I wouldn't care, because that like
yeah, that's fine. Do whatever you want. It's fine.
Yeah, you want me to be a little thicker, Zeus? Done. I'm there.
It wasn't. They didn't ask him to be thicker, Zeus. They asked him to be a skinnier Zeus. He just happened to come in thicker.
I'm hungry, boy, Zeus.
But that also fits for the gods at the time. Like, they're like, no, Dionysus, we're just doing our thing. Hephaestus, we don't worry about that. We're just
more wine.
Just saying, it wasn't like Marvel had a choice in the matter. He just showed up.
They could have cast someone else.
He's a little bit sober today. We can film some stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
It's funny because the only media attention we're ever going to get is Russell Crowe's press agent going, "How dare you? We will seek litigation. How dare you, these unfounded accusations."
Every time I think of like a PR person, I always think of the College Humor bits of the guy who's like Nick Cage's press agent, Chris Brown's.
Just say yes to anything.
Well, yeah, Nicolas Cage says yes to anything.
Yet.
He's just like
I didn't even tell you the plot. You're a dog.
All right, listen. This one is a career ender. You play a guy who can communicate with dolphins and uses this power to hunt them.
Yes.
It's a silent movie.
Yes.
There's a scene in it where you have real, actual sex with a puppy.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it's not going to be shot on film. It's going to be shot on fruit by the foot.
Yes, 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 yes.
Nicholas, I'm making this one up. I'm making it up. You can't say yes to it because it doesn't exist.
You can't say yes to everything.
Because it's that one. Chris Brown, and then also Scarlett Johansson. That was the other one. They're good clips. People go watch them.
Well, I mean, Scarlett Johansson. When you're an actor, you can be anything.
This. Yeah,
doesn't matter.
You can be a tree.
And
then she worked. Then she did a movie opposite Groot, and she's like, "See,
or an Asian woman every time, over and over again.
Would you taste the soup? Folks,
so there you go, Pat. You don't have.
Good night, everybody.
You can go rent that and watch it.
Yeah,
that feels like a good idea to me.
I think so.
That feels like a great.
Maybe easier.
That damn right it does. Feels like a great.
Now you're just begging.
Ken is so good at this.
We should.
At least becomes a great notion.
We're going to need to cut a clip, just a reel of Ken teeing up great notion over and over again, and just send them like, "Hey, give us $7."
I mean, just send us a sampler pack.
I'm just gonna give Ken a beer. It's like the worst of both worlds.
Ken's gonna feel obligated to drink it because they gave it to us. It's gonna be the worst.
I'm just saying, just send us a sampler pack. That's what, and some t-shirts. I want a t-shirt too. Yeah. They've got their Great Notion box. It's a box of 12 beers, folks, that you can get for 10% off using the unlock code tangential. Blah 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 blah.
Podcast. That's not going to work. I just want to go on record that it's definitely not going to work. But you can try it.
I mean, hey, whether it's Dune or Strawberry Fluff,
our audience can't spell.
Yeah.
You can get the Stamper Stout, whatever you choose. They're all Great Notions.
He's so good at this. Ken, give me some Hydrox takes next week.
You got one person buying it, Ken.
I mean, that's
happens to be in the podcast.
I mean,
it doesn't offer us any money, but
some people might be like, I don't like. I'm more of a cider person. That's why we have strawberry shortcake. If that's what you want, we have flavors for you, folks. Just give us a T-shirt of strawberry fluff. I don't know.
Double stack tastes like pancakes.
Boom.
Really?
Maple syrup. You want some wheat cakes and you want some maple syrup? Spider-Man loves wheat cakes.
Does he?
Great. Yes, that's the whole bit.
Canonical.
Yeah. Yeah. Aunt May makes wheat cakes.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
I did not know that.
Yep.
There's so much about Spider-Man I don't know.
I
thought I was going to jump into this because they just ended the Spider-Verse thing. I thought I was going to jump into that now that it's over, but I have no clue what I'm getting myself into.
What Spider-Verse is over?
Like that comic series, like the multiple Spider-Man series or whatever that just ended.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, there was a recent one, but that's like the third one because it's like Spider-Verse.
Right. I'm talking about the most recent
Spider-Geddon. Okay, yeah. And there's also been like 4 different versions of Edge of Spider-Verse too. I'm like, that's a lot of edges, folks. Like just edging everywhere. Why?
It's actually a hexagon. So it's just Edge-a-palooza. Are the Inheritors still? Are we still doing that?
No, the Inheritors were 1 and 2. Yeah, and I think, but they did bring back Morlun separately.
Oh, cool.
And another, but this is connected to that original. So Morlun comes out of the JMS run, and that's when he first pops up. But they also had the Shroud, the Wasp person. and now she's gone to other, like she's spreading her wasps that kill spiders because that's how nature works, and that was the push for the third one.
Okay.
And
The third Spider-Verse.
I'm going to tell you,
I feel like there should be a better name for it than Spider-Verse, because at least they went Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon. But it feels like the new one, I think the new one was just called something, but I think the third one was just Spider-Verse again, which is less creative and more annoying to find for SEO. That's the one thing that I always get annoyed with, is because it's like when you work at a shop and have to find a spot in the bins for those, where do those go? And like Spider-Geddon goes here and Spider-Verse goes over here, but they could cut, they don't.
I feel like the worst for that was the 2015 Secret Wars tie-in series. It's like, oh, here's Inferno, here's Age of Apocalypse. Here, like we did this. All right, no, these are just
we put those all under Secret Wars :
It
was smart for a while, and then it's like it got ridiculous, and also like they didn't sell a quarter as well as they would have hoped. Some of them were good, but because it was all just a weird kind of like, we're kind of retelling these stories, kind of, but not. It's also new. I don't know, folks. Here we are.
There were a couple.
Speaking of which, before we leave, what are you guys reading? Is there anything to add to my list?
Dark Knights of Steel is getting close to wrapping up. I definitely recommend it. It's a medieval DC, so you've got the king, the House of Elves are kings on Earth, and Batman is a Dark Knight, literally. Definitely a lot of fun from Tom Taylor. It's fun. Elseworlds, I highly recommend that. Nightwing has been great for me for a good long while. Still recommend that. Spider-Man has been a book that I read.
So I will
like
say
a bunch of stuff that I was reading, but
I have a Spider-Man question, because I have truly I read Zeb Wells' run on I'm totally blanking right now, the Hellions, and it was great. So what has happened with Spider-Man?
It's been very meh, and I'm not caught up. I need to be caught up, but I'm also not looking forward to it because of like there was some kind of interesting stuff you get with when they came back with the Romita art, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm enjoying kind of like the gangster take with Tombstone. I'm enjoying that, but then after that they have this time jump and Mary Jane's. That's kind of where I've been on hold for a little while, and that's right where Dark Web came in. So like right after Dark Web, I kind of fell off because I'm like, I don't want to read how Spider-Man's Mary Jane's like, oh, she's with another man and they have 3 kids together or 2 kids. It just
does feel like at the point, if you don't want Mary Jane to be his significant other, then let's all move on. We can. It's okay. Just do it then. Pull the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, 1,000%. She-Hulk has been very good as well lately. The current one, She-Hulk.
I've been enjoying the hell out of that.
8 Billion Genies wrapped up. Definitely recommend that. Gargoyles from Dynamite. Recommend that as well. World's Finest, the Mark Waid Superman and Batman run. That's on my list.
That's an old one, right?
Old. I think it just like they hit issue 12 just a little bit ago, like a month or so ago.
Okay.
I started reading Radiant Black, which is kind of a different take on kind of Power Rangers and the like, because then there's Radiant Pink and Radiant Red and a few other books. So it's from Kyle Higgins, who did the run on Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's kind of the most recent stuff. Oh, and although I'm behind on it, Wants and Future was really good from Kieran Gillian and Dan Mora.
Okay.
That's kind of my current recommends. And I'm also going back and reading old stuff that I kind of fell behind on and wanted to get caught back up with, because like Ninja Turtles was really good for a long while, and I love that. Ghostbusters comics were great. Supposedly the Dark Horse is coming back with those, but the IDW one was so phenomenal. Like I highly recommend that. And then Far Sector, but that's also old now at this point.
I actually went back. I think this is based on when we were doing the Ghostbusters review. I have it. I just haven't started reading it yet. But I have what's the series called for IDW?
There's it's Ghostbusters.
Well,
but there's
Ghostbusters, and then there's like another version of them too. And then there's one where they all like cross like various versions of the Ghostbusters.
So there was the main Ghostbusters series, and then they also went to the new Ghostbusters, but it was then they went Ghostbusters Interdimensional. I'm sorry, Ghostbusters International, but then they had a lot of different like little sub series, like just mini series. They had the God, I'm gonna figure all their names. There's like the crossing the rift or something like that, where it's like they cross over with the real Ghostbusters, and there's the issues where they crossed over with the Turtles, issues where they crossed over with other Ghostbusters in other worlds. So like the Extreme Ghostbusters and the Answer the Call Lady Ghostbusters. And there's like lots of different crossovers, all fun stuff. Eric Burnham did a great story. Dan Schoening, when he was doing the art, was phenomenal as well. There's a lot of other fill-in artists as well who did a good job, but like the key ones are Eric and Dan.
Okay.
And there's also
add those to my list because right now I'm juggling all the X stuff.
That's a full-time job. So
yeah, I'm also reading. I went back and started reading Hawkeye. I think I mentioned to you in the chat, which has been really good. Like Kate Bishop Hawkeye, not like
it's Fraction, right?
What's that?
No, Fraction was the I mean, at this point is back with David Aja. This is an older one now, but this is the more recent Kate Bishop one. I want to say I don't know who did the recent Kate Bishop one, but I've heard it's good. But
the Private Eye version of Kate Bishop, and then there's like West Coast some or other.
Yeah, West Coast Avengers. That is a different name. Noonkamp is the Hawkeye Kate Bishop. That's the 2022 run. Is Nincamp. Nijkamp.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that one. I think I'm reading the 2015, 2016 version.
Thompson. Yeah, that's the Thompson stuff.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Yeah.
And then what was there? I think it might actually finish the Immortal Hulk, even though I stopped after like the 10th or 12th one. I feel like a completionist at this point.
Let me know what happened because I'm not reading it. I just can't. Like it's just
yeah. The body horror stuff got to me after 7 straight issues, and so I took a break. But like I said, I feel like a completionist, and so far of the recent Hulk series, it's still better than the one we have where he's like, I'm in my own mind in a machine. I hated that one.
Spaceship Hulk.
It was just literally like action porn, which again, I suppose if you're a version of a Hulk fan, that's great for you. Yeah. But I'm like, there's gotta be something more to the Hulk, in my opinion, than just this.
To which
I'm gonna fight a different
some would
person,
say
go to another level.
Is there?
Yes.
It's just like I'm going Super Saiyan 8 now. Ha.
That's basically what he was doing. He was like, I'm on level 5 of the Hulk. I'm gonna turn it up to 6 now to fight this new villain.
That's every Hulk series ever. Like, I'm now World Breaker Hulk. I'm World Crusher Hulk. Now I'm Titan Hulk. Now I'm Evil Titan Hulk.
At least World Breaker Hulk made sense in the context of in the context of Planet Hulk, though.
Tangential to this, they showed the new wave of Marvel Legends that and the Build-A-Figure is the Totally Awesome Hulk, Amadeus Cho, and
I like it.
Yeah, I like it, but they also used the figure. What's up?
Sorry, go ahead. I was curious what figures were in the line.
It would be Secret Agent Cap. So, like, I should say Secret Avengers Cap. Heroes Reborn Iron Man.
That's the other thing. I started reading the new Cap too, where they like kidnap his son.
Oh yeah, new Cap. That was.
Is that old?
That's old. If it's the one I'm thinking of,
I'm reading whatever that is.
They go to a different. Wait, his son. Oh my goodness.
Is this pre or post Hydro Cat?
Post, at least from what I can tell.
Again, yeah, because if it's
the sad part is I don't know because
that's when he was in a pocket dimension of Zola's creation.
His
right?
Son?
Yeah, with his son who wasn't really his son. His son was a Zola, really, but he raised him as a Zone.
Yeah.
Oh,
whatever it is.
Yeah, and so jumping back real quick, the rest of the people in that wave it's the Heroes Reborn Iron Man, Secret Avengers Cap, Karnak from Inhumans, Cap Marvel Boy, and then the 3 Marvels from the upcoming Marvels movie from the MCU versions. So Carol, Photon, and Kamala, and then you build Amadeus Cho, who I like. It's a good wave to a degree for if like there's something for everybody. Like I think that there's like Dixon would maybe want Karnak because he loves the Inhumans.
Dixon
Jesus, Dixon, come
decisions.
on. Only man in America, only person in America that loves the Inhumans.
I mean, someone bought them.
Did they?
Dixon.
I mean, he bought them from a quarter bin, but he bought them.
Okay, so they sold one issue.
I mean, sold is a loose word. Like there, that's the thing too. But like, if it's like, oh, the book sold out. It's like it sold out from the publisher to the shops. The shops can be stuck with stacks of them. But this is the whole book. This is we're in Ouroboros now, folks. We're now eating our tail.
This is X-Men #1's fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim Lee.
Hey, it worked for him.
I mean, he's
not everyone else.
Chris Claremont has the highest selling comic of all time. Just saying.
Yeah.
By some metrics.
Yep.
I am reading absolutely positively nothing right now. I just have books stacking up because I am balls deep into Tears of the Kingdom, and that's all I do.
Okay.
All I'm doing right now.
Do you know how many shrines you've done? Have you
done 80 some odd shrines?
Oh wow, you are deep. You are.
I am exploring. So during the height of the pandemic, I got my hands on Breath of the Wild, and it basically kept me sane.
Yeah. So you weren't the Animal Crossing house. You were
we were Breath of the Wild.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that was peak pandemic was Animal Crossing. Like that, if you had a friends list, it was just like
Wild too,
yeah.
But Michelle now basically uses all the music as ASMR when we are sitting at home.
Before I hopped on the podcast, I put on Zelda music for Ebony.
Nice. Yes.
She was out in the hammock, and I put on Zelda music for her because it's just like the music at Hatino Village or Terrytown.
Mm-hmm. That is Michelle's favorite as well. Yeah.
Kicking back.
But that is what I am doing with my life for the last month, and probably for the next month. I will just be continually. It is a lot of fun to explore and climb things and make things and torture the Koroks. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's having a good time.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
I recently just got back into Far Cry 5, I think it is.
Far Cry 5 is great, except the ending is bad.
Yeah.
But the game itself is great. You get to shoot cultists. It's great. Like, shoot that guy in the face. It's fun.
I mean,
I took a break from video games for a while, but I'm getting back into that one. I want to get. Go ahead, Ken.
I was gonna say that was a selling point for Red Dead Redemption is that you could roll up on the clan and shoot them, but it didn't happen enough.
I think.
Like
I went looking for them. I think I spent a whole month just doing.
That's the problem. Is
missions.
Like they don't. I want to do it more, but it's like they don't show up enough. In fact, there's one that it costs you in town, so that if you mess with them, the cops get on you. And I'm like, this is wrong. Stop them.
Oh, I invited.
I could never get into Red Dead Redemption. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not that good at video games. Like it was. I couldn't. Like I gotta.
No, neither am I. But I like
it.
Like my hand was twisted trying to I gotta do the rope with the horse and the gun at the same.
There is a level to Red Dead Redemption where I'm like, it's a bit too far. It's like, oh well, you got to make sure your stamina is healthy. You haven't had too. If you have tobacco, you can have this much and it affects your sharpshooting. But if you have too much, it affects this. And your horse also needs to have enough food. And then to the point that it's been talked about that that the anatomy reacts on the horse to the weather. That's too much. You've gone too far. You've put too much. I don't know how that's relevant to the gameplay. That's where I'm like, maybe you need to rethink some of your priorities, team. But it's amazing game in so many other rights. So I mean,
those are the kind of things I find out when I talk to people like you. And I'm like, why did my horse die like this? And it's like, oh, Kareem, you need to feed it. What?
Yeah.
Oh man,
this son of a bitch.
Yeah, and like your horse can also kick you in the head and kill you too out of nowhere.
If you just steal another horse?
Oh,
though?
Yeah.
But now you've stolen a horse and you've got a bounty on you. If anybody sees you with a stolen horse, they're gonna be like, oh, and then that's the other thing too. You're constantly
see me, or are they gonna see my gun?
That was always my reaction.
That's the thing of you were constantly just getting stars but you don't have a code to turn them off. That was the translation. The difference.
I mean, my equivalent was just running into the woods.
I mean, if you lost them that way, that's fine. But then also next time you go to town, if the wrong person sees you, you're right back where you
Yeah.
started. And I'm like,
I mean, I spent a lot of time with stars.
What can you just change your facial appearance? Like, can I shave my beard?
no, not enough.
You can do
As a
that
new
technically.
That's the thing too. Is like
Not
you're supposed to be able to wear a mask, but like most times, it would like it.
Mask doesn't do shit.
Yeah, I didn't do it, and that pissed me off. I'm like, no, that was
They
that was a
had
different
hops
guy.
technology.
I took
I could see under the mask.
The thing that really messed me up was like, oh, I had to go take a bath. Like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, it became the thing of like, oh, well, you ate too much fast food and you need to work out a little bit more in GTA 5, 4,
San Andreas.
Oh, I
San
guess 5,
Andreas,
yeah.
San Andreas. It was San Andreas, yeah.
So it's like 3+.
Yeah.
3++.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, well, you didn't do enough of that.
I
Like,
appreciate the details, but I mean, I'm also the kind of game can attest. I'm the kind of gamer who all that stuff just kind of goes over my head.
and where Breath of the Wild, that's where I think Breath of the Wild does have a lot of depth, but there's still enough kind of just you can just have fun. Like, oh, I'm gonna sit at this oven and cook for 20 minutes to make food. Some food I can just make quick and put meat on a skewer and it heals me. Or I can be like, oh, I'll grab the eggs and the bantha wheat and I'll grab the butter and the honey and I made an energizing honey crepe. And now I have energy and it looks like they make it look, it's like an anime where it's like, oh, that looks so good, I want to eat it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
And the immersion surprises you because it's so subtle. It's like, oh wow, the trees do this. I just noticed that. It's not like, look what's happening. Now hit a button to make it happen, asshole. Do it. Hit the button. Yeah, you learned. See all the hard work we did?
And it's the things that still carry over too that they did in the first game of like, oh, well, yeah, you've got a metal sword in the middle of a lightning storm. That may be not the best idea.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
So
don't do that.
You're like, oh, let me grab this wooden stick and I'll use that as my weapon. Oh, but the bad guy over there, he's carrying a metal spear. Let me just hold back for a minute and let the lightning strike him. And now he's done. Cool. Way to go, me.
The physics in the game are pretty amazing and enjoyable. You can really it's also the new one allows you to do a lot of war crimes. Like a lot of war crimes.
Up top. Come on.
like a lot of work. Like there are just videos.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to get into Breath of the Wild. I mean,
look, someone's picking up a switch.
Yeah, just they're literally torturing enemy. Like, oh, let me put you in a metal cage and then electrocute it with flames. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Like, just actively. Yeah,
I won't be able to film next week, guys. Because
your Twitch channel is about to go off. That's what I'm hearing. It's about to be crazy.
I'm sure all the right wingers are going to love it.
Did you ever want to be Dick Cheney? Because this is your chance.
It's funny you should say that.
But yeah, everything else.
Like I said, I was having watched the Xbox showcase thing. I am looking forward to trying Starfield, but I feel like it's going to be like Red Dead a little bit. Like the details maybe are going to wash over me, but looks like it should be fun.
I love Fallout. I loved Outer Worlds. Yeah, it just feels like, wait a minute, I don't know if I trust Bethesda enough. I was like, well, how about I wait till the 7th patch, then I'll get the game, you know? Like Fallout 76, I know it's been a while, but it's still fresh enough in my mind, like, I remember, guys,